So lads, this is not a great look for the Indiana Fever organization. If you've got Caitlin Clark, the star of the Indiana Fever, she's going and seeing whatever about not seeing the Indiana Fever's doctors. Like, it is what it is with that. It is what it is. Like, I think a lot of players and teams get second opinions. But if you haven't seen here, Stephanie White says there's no update on Caitlin Clark or potential timeline. She met with another doctor, but White says she hasn't spoken with the trainer.
The Indiana Fever are in the midst of a crisis, and it's a terrible look for an organization that should be riding high on the wave of their superstar, Caitlin Clark. The 23-year-old phenom, who single-handedly brought women's basketball back to prominence in Indiana, has sent a seismic message without uttering a single word. Following a right groin injury sustained on July 15, 2025, during a game against the Connecticut Sun, Clark has reportedly severed ties with the Fever's medical staff.
Pretty much kind of leaked out the bag to the team that she was kind of going to get a second opinion. To me, an athlete like Caitlin Clark on her level, she should have been getting these second opinions. She should have been hearing from all these other doctors, man. But Stephanie White spoke to the media yesterday. She really didn't give a whole lot, but she did say that Caitlin Clark was in New York meeting with other doctors. Now, with all of that being said, what does the timetable look like to me for Caitlin Clark coming back? I keep telling y'all, around the 17th to the 30th of August.
She's now consulting outside specialists in New York and refusing to share any updates with the team's trainers. This isn't just about an injury. It's a glaring signal of a fractured relationship between the franchise and its generational talent. The Indiana Fever are on the verge of squandering the best thing that's ever happened to them, and the clock is ticking. Let's break down the injury saga that's brought us to this point.
She has met with a different doctor. And she won't even give an update to the team. Not, oh yeah, she's met with a different doctor and we're waiting on an update. She's waiting, or not even, well, that's basically it. They're waiting on, she's gone to a different doctor and they've heard nothing.
Clark's 2025 season has been marred by a disturbing pattern of soft tissue injuries. Left leg soreness in May, a left quadriceps strain in May, a left groin strain in June, and now this right groin injury in July. That's 11 regular season games missed, plus the Commissioner's Cup final, nearly half the WNBA's 40-game season. For context, Clark...
News: Caitlin Clark. Following a July 15th injury to her right groin, Indiana Fever guard Caitlin Clark underwent further medical evaluations earlier this week. The team can confirm that no additional injuries or damage were discovered through the evaluations. Clark will continue working with the Fever medical team on her recovery and rehabilitation, with the priority on her long-term health and well-being. There is no timetable available for Clark's return, and no additional details will be provided at this time. Any further updates will be shared as they become available.
It's a neon sign flashing medical mismanagement. Sources close to the situation reveal that Clark was rushed back from her previous groin injury, only to aggravate it within games of her return. Her response was unequivocal. "I'm getting my own doctors." This move echoes the infamous Kawhi Leonard situation with the San Antonio Spurs in 2018, where a superstar lost faith in his team's medical staff and took control of his own recovery. Clark's decision to seek second opinions in New York, without looping in the Fever's trainers, speaks volumes.
But the internet noticed something specific that Holly Rowe had to say on the broadcast. Holly Rowe said that before the last return after her quad injury, she had no practice time, which, if that's actually true, like if she wasn't practicing, if she wasn't going full speed, then why was she returning to the court? And that's actually something that I pointed out. I believe it was Scott Agnes reported that Caitlin had gone full speed in practice, but there was only one practice that she had gone full speed, and then she returned to play.
Coach Stephanie White, speaking to the media, admitted she hasn't spoken to the team's trainers about what Clark's outside doctors have found. She offered no concrete timeline for Clark's return, vaguely suggesting a window between August 17 and August 30th, 2025. This lack of clarity and communication is damning. When your franchise player, the face of the WNBA, goes rogue on medical decisions, it's not just about a strained groin. It's about a complete breakdown of trust.
Caitlin Clark's team has made it known we are going to be holding her out until she is fully recovered. We are not going to be rushing her back at all. After taking Indiana Fever's advice, eventually Caitlin Clark needs to take matters into her own hands, make decisions for herself, and I believe that's what we are seeing with the team that she now has surrounding her.
The Fever's mishandling of Clark extends far beyond the training room. Let's talk about the coaching situation, which is equally troubling. When the Fever hired Stephanie White in the offseason, fans were optimistic. White, the 2023 WNBA Coach of the Year and a former Fever player with a championship ring, was supposed to be an upgrade over her predecessor, Christy Sides. Sides had her flaws. Critics pointed to her lack of in-game adjustments and questionable rotations. But she understood one fundamental truth. Caitlin Clark is not just a player, she's the system. Sides gave Clark the keys to the offense, letting her run the show at her preferred breakneck pace. The results were undeniable. Clark's rookie season in 2024 saw her shatter multiple WNBA records, including single-season assists and three-point makes, while leading the Fever to their first playoff appearance since 2016. Arenas sold out everywhere they played, and the Fever became must-watch TV, with Clark's logo threes and no-look passes drawing comparisons to Magic Johnson in his prime.
People were speculating that Caitlin Clark injury could be much worse than expected. You know, these type of injuries and the way she's been getting these injuries is not normal. To have these strains back to back to back like this, and I said this before, Caitlin Clark's mobility is off, bro. I believe she might have came back too fast from the first. We all know the first one went down around the 25th of May. Then she came back and got re-injured around the 4th of July to the 5th, somewhere up in there of July, and then that brings us until now.
But White, for all her credentials, seems determined to fix what isn't broken. Her recent comments about wanting Clark to play off the ball, with two primary ball handlers running the offense, fundamentally misunderstand what makes Clark special. Clark's game thrives on freedom. Freedom to push the pace, to create off the dribble, to launch deep threes that ignite crowds. Asking her to become a spot-up shooter or a secondary option is like telling Michael Jordan to focus on defense because he's being double-teamed. It's absurd. Greatness doesn't conform to a system. The system conforms to greatness. White's vision risks stifling Clark's unique talents, and the early results are telling. The Fever are 4-6 without Clark this season, a far cry from the championship-caliber team they could be with her on the court. Even in their recent, competent performances without her, they've lacked the spark that only Clark provides. As one analyst put it, the Fever without Caitlin Clark are a mid-tier team at best. With her, they're a title contender.
The only good news about today is Caitlin Clark is no longer dealing with Stephanie White and these coaches and this Indiana Fever medical staff, trainers, doctors, none of that. She's seeing her own medical doctors, her own team. That's the only good news of today. She has abandoned the Indiana Fever medical staff, and I'm happy about it. I'm happy about it. She's pulling a Kawhi Leonard, what he did with the San Antonio Spurs, letting it be known, hey, look, I'll get back to y'all when I'm ready. I'm going with my own medical staff. Y'all can beat it, kick rocks, and I stand with you, Caitlin Clark.
The medical and coaching failures are compounded by what Clark's absence costs the Fever and the WNBA as a whole. Clark isn't just a player. She's a cultural phenomenon. Her games draw sellout crowds, record-breaking TV ratings, and millions in revenue. She's the reason the Fever moved select home games to larger arenas like Gainbridge Fieldhouse, which seats 20,000 fans, to accommodate demand. Her impact transcends stats. She's the player who fills seats, sells jerseys, and brings casual fans to the WNBA. Without her, the Fever are just another team, scraping by with a sub-500 record in her absence. The financial hit is real. Empty seats, fewer sponsorships, and diminished national attention. But the bigger cost is long-term. Every game Clark misses is a missed opportunity to build a championship contender around a player in her prime. At 23, Clark is at peak athleticism, with a skill set that's already rewriting record books. These should be the years where Indiana is constructing a dynasty, not figuring out basic injury prevention. The most alarming sign of trouble came after the Fever's loss to the New York Liberty on July 22, 2025. Photos surfaced of Clark and her agent, Erin Kane, in what appeared to be a private meeting with Liberty coach Sandy Brondello and stars Brianna Stewart and Sabrina Ionescu in the tunnel at Barclays Center. This wasn't a post-game dap-up or casual chat. When your agent is present alongside the coaching staff and star players of a rival team, that's a business meeting. The optics are unmistakable. While the Fever fumble their superstar, the Liberty, a franchise with championship pedigree, competent coaching, and a system built to maximize star talent, are making their pitch. The Liberty, perennial contenders, know how to build around players like Stewart and Ionescu. They wouldn't waste Clark's prime trying to turn her into a role player. Speculation is rife that Clark, whose rookie contract runs through 2027, could force her way out if the Fever don't get their act together. A 50-ii.
The problem of this team is Stephanie White. It's Stephanie White. It's not Caitlin Clark. A great player don't all suddenly sucks. That doesn't happen. It's strategic. And everybody's saying that they played better without Caitlin Clark. No. Actually, even this loss, Caitlin Clark gives them a better chance. They're under 500 without Caitlin Clark.
50 chance of her leaving Indiana after her contract ends isn't hyperbole. It's a realistic possibility. Medical experts have weighed in on Clark's recurring injuries, and their assessments are scathing. Sports medicine professionals point to poor conditioning protocols and inadequate rehabilitation as likely culprits. Groin and quad strains, especially when they recur, often stem from improper recovery or overexertion. Clark's playing style, high speed, high usage with constant cutting and lateral movement, puts unique stress on her body. The Fever's medical staff, it seems, haven't tailored their approach to her specific needs.
But this is how it starts in sports. This is how it starts in the NFL. This is how it starts in the NBA. When you start seeing the wheels in motion, there's signs. There's signs before eventually a player gets traded. A player eventually marks their next destination. The Indiana Fever, you're on notice. You're on notice. You better recognize what you've got going on, the asset in front of you, and you do whatever you have to do to correct what is happening.
As one orthopedic specialist noted, recurring soft tissue injuries in an athlete like Clark suggest the root cause isn't being addressed. It's not about her toughness or work ethic. It's about the team failing to protect their asset.
Out there. Why Caitlin Clark was injured is a real thing. It's not just because she's a good player and people go hard against her. In my opinion, there's some other stuff going on there. A lot of pressure to put people in seats, to put eyeballs on the game. You come back a little early. Teams, as they should, play hard against her. Some teams go over the line and refs seem to look the other way. In my opinion, you had some of that going on with some other talent in the league as well last year. But this is different. And Stephanie White needs some blame as well. The team seems a little rudderless.
Even Michael Jordan's legendary trainer, Tim Grover, has spoken about the importance of customized conditioning for elite athletes with unique playing styles. The Fever's one-size-fits-all approach feels like amateur hour. Clark's frustration is palpable. After her latest injury, she was seen limping off the court, covering her face with a towel, visibly emotional. At All-Star Weekend, she spoke candidly about the challenges of professional athletics. This is the first time I haven't felt like a young body that can run around and sprint every day. You really have to take care of both your body and your mind. It's been a journey learning that. Her body language and actions tell a story her public statements don't. Seeking outside medical opinions without involving the team, meeting with rival organizations, refusing to share updates. These are the moves of a player who's lost faith in her franchise. The Fever's failures aren't just about Clark's health. They're about respect. Clark doesn't owe Indiana anything. She's already delivered sold-out arenas, national TV ratings, a playoff berth, and a surge in revenue. In return, she's gotten a parade of injuries, coaching instability, and a medical staff she can't trust. The organization's inability to build around her is baffling. Imagine Peyton Manning in his prime being asked to hand off the play calling to a coordinator who didn't understand his game. Manning once told his coach, Tony Dungy, "You run the defense, I'll run the offense." That's exactly what needs to happen in Indianapolis. Clark should be calling the shots on offense, dictating the pace and running the show. White can handle the defense, but the system must revolve around Clark's brilliance. The Fever are at a crossroads. They can either double down on their superstar, prioritizing her health, tailoring the offense to her strengths, and surrounding her with complementary talent, or watch her walk. Teams like the New York Liberty are circling, ready to capitalize on Indiana's mistakes. The Liberty have the infrastructure, the coaching, and the vision to maximize Clark's talent. If the Fever don't act fast, they risk losing the best thing that's ever happened to their franchise. The warning signs are clear. Clark's patience is running out, and the WNBA's biggest star won't wait forever.
Quote, "This is the first time I haven't felt like a young body that can run around and sprint every day and just continue to do that," Clark said in an event during All-Star Weekend per Glamour. Being a professional athlete, you really have to take care of both your body and your mind. It's been a journey learning about that.